Welcome, Guthrie Sports Page Television. Chris Evans with the ball coach, Rafe Watkins. Coach, let's put this El Reno game in the bag real quick. You get the win 35-0 without Clayton Smith. You shut out. Still wasn't the effort you liked.
Well, no, and we went back and watched film, and like I always tell you, it's never as bad as it appears to be, and it's never as good as it appears to be, and this was certainly the case. It wasn't as bad as it appeared in many instances. We just felt like the effort wasn't completely there that we'd had. We had, we were good on the penalties. We didn't have much in the way of penalties and turnovers. We had the one interception, so we weren't too bad in that. We just felt like those first three drives, we'd get set up perfect inside the 40, and you got to score on those drives. That's probably what started the night off as far as us as coaches feeling like we weren't doing the best that we could possibly do, and then we had to drop touchdown passes and first down passes. So from that standpoint, we were frustrated. We missed a few tackles. We had a few people jogging around that we don't normally see jog around on defense. So, but again, overall, it wasn't too bad of an effort. We had again, the main thing was a win, and I'd take 12 more ugly wins right now. But we've got to get better. We know that. If that would have been one of the top four teams in our district, a Durant or an Ardmore or Carl Albert or Shawnee, we wouldn't have won the ball game.
The offense does start slow, but the special teams kind of kickstart you the night.
They did. Dante had the good punt return there at the start, back down to about the 10-yard line. We didn't end up scoring, and then Josh on the next one was able to take it to the house, fortunately, so we got 7 points in the first quarter. I thought that Hank did a great job of kicking the ball the other night. We didn't do a great job of covering a couple of times on our kickoffs. We gave up one of the longest that we've had since I've been here. It was about 70 yards, and so a lot of missed tackles on it. I know we had some different people in there because at that point we had some people cramping. We had different things taking place on the sidelines, but still, like we told the kids, if you're in there, if you're a backup, we expect you to take care of things. I mean, you're important. You're on that for a reason, and so we can't use that for excuses. Whoever we put in there, we expect them to stop them back there.
You play without Clayton Smith, and you had about 4 different running backs. How'd they grade out?
Oh, I thought they did a real good job. We've still got a lot to learn at those spots, but I thought JP did a really good job of coming in there and filling in for us, and his ankle's still not 100%, but he did a good job. I thought that Derek Kelly and Luke Davis did a good job for their first time in action, and then you got, again, with Josh, we just didn't get much out of him because of the fact that he was on the sideline with an asthma attack, and so we didn't get much out of him, and then the second half we felt like we needed him more on defense than we did on offense.
What's a freshman like Luke Davis who comes up, what goes through their mind when they get to actually go in the game? And suit up is one thing, that's a good thing, but to actually go in the game, what goes through a freshman's mind?
Well, I would imagine their heart rate's up a little bit. He looked a little nervous, but after that first hit, he settled into it. And then, of course, for Monday's freshman game, he was a man among boys on it. I think everything looked like it was in slow motion then. So, it's something that we certainly don't want to practice a lot of, and we'll suit him up again this week just for emergency roll to make sure Clayton's all right and all the others. And it's just good for him and Landry and a couple of those other guys to be able to get and see what it's going to be like next year.
Clayton is definitely the man rushing the football. How's he now?
Well, right now he's looked really good in practice this week. Hasn't showed any ill effects. Haven't seen him limping or nothing. He said it feels good. It's kind of weird for him, I think, with that tape on his toe. But other than that, he's doing fine.
Move over to the Piedmont Wildcats, Coach. Winless season a year ago, 0-10. Good friends with the head coach over there, Trinity Johnson. They beat a Harrod team last week, 22-10. Lose the first one to Deer Creek. But your thoughts on the Wildcats?
Well, they're much better than they were last year. When they come in here last year, they weren't a very good team with their whole group here, but they had like 6 or 7 starters out in the game against us last year, and so it just wasn't much. There wasn't much of a chance for them last year. This year, they played their arch rival Deer Creek 35-20. First week, and Deer Creek's not a bad, we know that they're a pretty good ball club, got 3 Division I kids on their team. And then last week beat Harrod 22-10, like you said. So they've got a good quarterback. Their line is massive. That's probably the biggest thing that we worry about is the size of their line. They've got a kid that is 6'5", 310. They've got another kid that is 6'2", 315, and another kid that's 6'2", 280. So they've got very, very good size. They remind us a little bit of like the Noble front that they'll see early in the game. They may push us around a little bit, but I think in time that our speed will take over. That's what we're hoping for anyway. And, it'll be a good test for us as far as to see if we've improved any this week and kind of our mindset.
Improve this week. What are the things that you worked on here this week getting ready for Piedmont?
We've got to become better at running the ball. We're fortunate that we do have, we can throw the ball, and that's the good thing. We're still averaging, I think today I got the stats, we're averaging 310 yards a game, which we're certainly happy with.
And
balanced, that's true. But, we want to be able in those district games where toward the end that you've got to get those 2 or 3 first downs to run out the clock where their offense doesn't get it back at the end and have a chance to win. You've got to be able to get some first downs, and right now we don't feel like like we're there. We don't want to, if somebody knows that we're going to run the ball and have to run it, it's going to get difficult, and we got to be able to do that. We got to get first downs even when everybody in the whole stands knows that we're going to run the ball. Fortunately, like I said, our receivers and Keaton are doing a good job. We're getting good pass protection. I think we've really had maybe one sack on the year, and then that was in the McGinnis game, and so we're doing really well up there with our run blocking and stuff, but we know we have to improve on our running game, and that's what's so vital for us. To win championships, you got to be able to stop the run, and you got to be able to run the ball.
Last question defensively, Coach. Are you surprised you're able to put a little bit more pressure on the quarterback than what you have this year?
Well, Coach Beebe does a great job with stunt package, and we've got kids that can run. Again, we're not real big and physical, but we can run very well. I thought that Kentrell Brothers did a good job the other night. Mikey Johns had a very good game, and then, of course, our linebackers, he does a great job stunt with Skyler, and the other night we got a pressure on with William Bohannon also, and Jaden Chappell. So, with the stunt package that we have, we're going to be able to put pressure on people. We're going to have to because, again, we're just not very big up front.
Coach, best of luck Friday.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Rafe Watkins.